Hello, Ollie. How are you? I'm going to read another chapter. Good morning, fishies. I'm going to read another chapter. Where are you? Hi there. Are you in the schoolhouse? Good morning, Mr. and Miss Fish. Good morning, Stripes. Good morning. Oh. Good morning, Mr. Fish. Good morning, Mr. Elephant Fish. I'm going to read another chapter. I wanted to show you ceramic tile that I painted. Remember I told you that I had painted this? Yes. An art teacher helped me because I didn't know how to do it. And there's my name, Anna Alter, March of 2021. That's when I did it, just last month. Okay, so let's start with chapter 10. Worm's story. Drake stepped inside Worm's dark cave. Worm opened one eye. "I need to shine your scales," Drake said. He was carrying a brush, a basket, and towels. Drake looked at Worm's brown scales. "They're not shiny," he said, "but I'll clean them anyway." Drake was still getting used to being around Worm. The dragon's head was as big as Drake. He is pretty giant, huh? Worm could swallow Drake in one gulp if he wanted to, but something about Worm made Drake feel peaceful. F-U-L, that's a suffix. Peaceful, full of peace. Drake gently, there's another suffix, L-Y. Lots of suffixes every time you read, guys. Keep an eye out. Drake gently brushed one of Worm's scales. The big dragon made a low sound in his throat. Worm smiled and closed his eyes. "You like that?" Drake asked. Worm made another purring sound. "Oh, like a big cat." "Good." He cleaned Worm's scales one at a time. "I kind of miss the onion field back home," Drake said to his dragon. "It was hard work, but I loved being outside." Drake started to clean Worm's head. "And I really miss my family," Drake said. He scratched behind Worm's ears like he did with his cat back home. Then he felt his hand start tingling. He tried to take his hand off Worm, but he couldn't. It was stuck, see? Drake's eyes widened as he looked at Worm. The dragon started staring hard at him. Oh, maybe Worm is trying to tell Drake something. Pictures popped into Drake's head. He saw the cave from his nightmare. He saw the explosion again. Before, Drake had woken up. But this time, the pictures kept coming. So remember his nightmare about the cave and all these dragons in there? Worm was trying to get out of the cave, but the other dragons were in the way. Then soldiers rushed into the cave. Each soldier's shirt had a gold dragon sewn on it. "The king's soldiers?" Drake asked. The soldiers wrapped Worm in chains. They dragged him out of the cave. "Owie!" Drake could hear Worm's cry. Then his hand stopped tingling. The pictures left his head. Drake looked at Worm. "Did that really happen? Did the king's men take you from away from your family, just like they took me away from mine?" Worm nodded. "I'm sorry," Drake said, and he threw his arms around Drake's neck. Worm closed his eyes. All his life, Drake had looked up to King Roland. But why would the king's men treat Worm like a prisoner, wondered Drake. Maybe he isn't such a good king after all. So it turns out that the king sent his men in to capture the dragons. Okay.